If you want to start and grow your YouTube channel and you want to do it in the right way, on this show, we're learning from people who are crushing it on YouTube. And on today's show, we're joined again by the wonderful Terence Fisher. And we're going to be sharing 6 things that we use every week to grow our YouTube channels. So, whether you are joining us live or you're here for the replay, thank you so much for being here. And a very warm welcome, as always, to today's guest, Terence. Hello, Terence. How you doing?
Hey, Claire, I am doing quite well. I'm happy to be here. Thanks so much for having me again. It's always a pleasure to be here and sharing some great information with you and your followers.
Oh, it's such a lovely little treat. It's so nice to check in. And you've been like doing such amazing things on your channel. We were just chatting a second ago about how you've been amping things up and
Yeah.
getting more done. So before we jump into the our 6 things, for
Mhm.
anyone who's new to this channel or anyone who's new to you, Terence, would you mind filling us in briefly on what your channel is all about and what kind of content you're making?
Sure. So my YouTube channel is called Music Space, music with a K instead of a C. And basically, what we do on the channel is provide information for musicians and artists and people who are in the industry and want to make money from their talents. We basically just give information and teach ways to do that so that musicians can go from just the average type of or the typical type of struggling musicians that barely make it and just make small amounts of money to musicians who have substantial businesses built around their talents and what they do. So we try to provide as much information and as value in that area as possible. So that's pretty much what the channel is about in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's amazing. I highly recommend anyone who is, whether you're a musician or not, one of the things that, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll keep on saying it. It's like the content that you provide and that you make is so relevant, like across all kind of creative pursuits, including
Sure.
making a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome. And how has the past it's been a month since we
Mhm.
chatted. How's the
Yeah.
past month been for you on your channel as far as
It's
like
been
growth
really
goes?
yeah, it's been really good. So as you mentioned, I kinda amped things up, went from doing like 1 video a week to 2 videos a week, and just that change alone, I'm seeing, upticks in pretty much every area across the board. More subscribers, the rate that the subscribers are going up has grown, the watch time, the watch hours, all of that stuff has grown. So yeah, it's been it's been a pretty good month. More work and stuff, of course, to get all of that done with the shooting
Mm,
and editing and all of that. But I mean, it's what it's about. That's one of the things we talk about on the channel. You have to kind of put in some work, to kind of make the things happen that you want to make happen. So I mean, that's I'm trying to practice what I preach, so to speak. So yeah, it's
yeah.
been a pretty good month.
Awesome, awesome. And so today on today's show, if anyone hasn't got the memo, we're going to be talking about like tools and gear and 6 things. So we're using a very very broad term there. 6 things that we're using to help us
Yeah.
grow our channels. And thank you so much to everyone who's here. We have the creator classroom who has dropped in I'm going to call this a spoiler. Yes. Yes, it made the cut. It's made the cut. Thank you so much for
Yes.
being here. Roxanne, you're awake. Thank you so much for being here. And Nobu loves my beanie, which is, I'm gonna be honest. I flew in from Melbourne last night and I woke up this morning and I was feeling very tired. And I was like, I'm not gonna wash my hair. It's just the truth. It
It
is
just
just the
it is what
truth.
it is.
Marianne, thank you so much for being here. Marianne's going to be coming on the channel in a couple of weeks to have a chat. So, yeah,
Also.
exciting. Beautiful. Well, I reckon without further ado is we should jump into the first
Let's do it.
thing.
The first thing.
The first thing.
Let's
Oh,
do it.
and
Yeah.
while before Terence jumps into his first thing, we're going to like take questions. We're going to have a little bit of a chat amongst ourselves, me and Terence, but ask your questions and I'm going to star them. And then when we get through our 6 things, because we do have a way of chatting on and on and on and on, but I want to make sure we definitely get through all the 6 things.
Yeah.
So ask any questions that you have that are related to each of the thing, and put the question marks before and after your question as they come up, because then that'll make it easy for me to star them and jump back to it. Oh, better quickly shout my mum out, who's here watching from Strathalbyn. Hello, mum.
Hi, Mom.
Beautiful. So, the first thing. What's your first thing, Terence?
What is my first thing? So which one? I'm not sure, Claire, which
Okay,
one you had on
I'll
the.
tell you what your first thing is. Your
Okay,
first thing is
what's my first?
Kartra.
Kartra. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Okay,
what do you use Kartra for? It looks like it does literally every single thing that you could ever need any business tool to do. So could you
absolutely,
briefly explain what it's all about and how you are using it to grow your
absolutely.
channel?
Sure. So yeah, Kartra is a all-in-one business solution platform. That's basically what it is, and that's what how I refer to it. I use it to run pretty much everything in my business, from my email list to my courses that I have on my online courses and everything. This is what I use Kartra for, and it is a business solution. And it's in the likes of other business solutions, like some of the other ones that are out there on the market. But what separates Kartra is, I think, its ease of use. It's a little bit more user friendly, especially for beginners and people who are looking to get in and have a business solution online where they can have
Mm,
an all-in-one platform. One of the things that drew me to it is when I first, subscribed to Kartra. It had the email list, in there. You have separate email list and email autoresponder providers, MailChimp and all of those. But you have one built in this system. And what's good about that is that the all-in-one platform. So when I'm getting ready to email people about my YouTube videos or what I'm doing on YouTube, I can just go in and do that. I can do the same thing with my memberships. When I put a course together, I can go right in and just upload the videos and, have them in a course format and everything. And it's really easy to use. And that's basically it. That's what I use is, as far as my back end solution. I mean, it has the payment platforms in there that you can use, to receive payments and things like that. You
wow.
have help desk where you can send out, if people are, needing help with something that you sold them or something like that. It has pretty much everything you would want in an online business solution. So, the bigger companies that are using online, even if you're talking about like an Apple or something like that, if you go to the Apple website and you click buy on something, they're using some sort of online business solution to run that business platform.
Mm,
And it's the same thing here. So pretty much all online businesses are run through some sort of platform, and they can get pretty expensive, especially the bigger your business is and the more that you have to run, they can get pretty expensive. But the thing about Kartra is the pricing of it is really, really competitive. It's set up, I think, for people who are just getting into business and want to start their online business and making things happen like that. You can get into have a really robust solution without breaking the bank. So that's
yeah.
what Kartra is.
Yeah. So I think something that we should touch on, because I think a lot of people, when they think about monetizing a YouTube channel, they think about like getting to 1,000 subscribers and
Yeah.
4,000 watch hours, and then you get paid like $2 a month from YouTube or
Mhm. Yeah.
whatever it is.
If that,
Um,
so it's like $1.50.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Terence is one of the ways you've monetized your channel is by creating online courses
Hmm.
and memberships and things. So are your memberships run through Kartra as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So, yeah, everything literally, and when I'm saying everything, all of my business solutions are run through Kartra. Pretty much 100% of them
Yeah.
are. So the membership courses, the membership site, the websites, the online courses, all of that is run through, you know, through Kartra. And one thing I want to mention here about this, and maybe we'll get into it a little bit, but the reason I wanted to do this is because, again, with YouTube, we're talking about YouTube, and this is basically an extension of YouTube. One of the reasons, or one of the ways that I, monetize what I do on YouTube, like Claire said, is through online memberships and online courses. So I didn't have to wait for, a certain amount of watch time to get into the AdSense
Mm.
program or something like, or the, particular amount of subscribers to start making money from YouTube. I had a all-in-one business solution where I could do that right away. So YouTube and Kartra for me are extensions of each other, so to speak. So that's kind of how it works for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. I would love to know for anyone who is watching, like in like what ways is everyone monetizing their channel? If you are, yeah, there's so many different ways that it's possible. So who like if someone doesn't do courses,
Mhm.
um, who would you recommend Kartra is good for?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
good
what
question.
types of monetization or businessy
Sure.
type things?
Yeah, yeah, that's a really good question. So here's what I always recommend. Um, when you're starting a business, you kind of want to set yourself up to be prepared for things that come and things that you may branch out into. So, and one of the main reasons behind that, especially as it pertains to an online business solution, is that let's just say you as you're starting, you say, "Hey, I just want to get an email autoresponder. I'll pay for that, and then that'll be my thing." And then you grow, and then you get all of these subscribers and people, and then they start asking you for products and courses and stuff, and then you have to start selling something. Now you have to kind of move to another platform or get an online business solution to handle that. So
Mm,
my thing is just kind of do it up front, especially if it's something that's, that you can handle as far as the expense is concerned. And that's why, again, why I like Kartra, because of the pricing of it is competitive. But do that up front. That way you can kind of grow into the platform.
mm,
So to answer your question directly, I think it's for anyone who is wanting to, start a business, grow a business, and offer any sort of online solution, be it memberships, be it, online courses, if you have an online digital product or something to sell, a PDF to download, anything, even free stuff. Like you can do that through this platform. And it allows you to grow into whatever you're going to be. So if you become a multi-billion dollar business, I mean, Kartra has solutions for you to be a multi-million dollar business, just as if
great.
you're only making a few $100 a month. So,
Yeah.
that's what I always recommend.
Yeah. Amazing. That's awesome. And yes, if anyone has any questions at all about Kartra, pop them in the comments. I can see here we have some people who so Nobu is doing course and membership as well. Awesome.
Mhm.
Marianne's selling digital products.
Nice.
Looking forward to hearing all about that in a couple of weeks. We aren't yet. Cool. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Brand deals
Sure.
currently have my eye, but haven't pitched anyone yet. You know, we'll bloody get there. We'll bloody well get there.
Yes.
Um, so Creator Classroom is currently doing affiliate marketing, but haven't officially made a dime yet. But hopefully at the end of the month, we will have earned a whopping $11 through Amazon affiliates. You know what?
Hey,
As our buddy Sean Cannell says, don't despise small beginnings. Like we all have to start
yes,
somewhere. We're all learning, growing. That's what this is all about. It's awesome.
absolutely. And that's $11 more than you had before. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so, so good.
yeah.
All right. So the next thing, oh, Fit Dad Chris, hello. eBay store, which is currently popping off lately, just crossed $600 in sales for the past 90 days.
Nice.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Awesome to have you here. So, second thing,
Mm.
this is my thing.
Second
And
thing,
you
Claire.
never going to believe what it is. It's the easiest way to create professional live streams. So my number one thing is StreamYard, which you may recognize from such things as this very live stream. And I just think it's amazing. This is one of the creators of StreamYard. What a little ripper. I just let me know in the comments if you've done live streaming, if you're thinking about doing live streaming. I just think for me, it has totally changed the way I feel about YouTube. It's changed how I produce content. it's meant that conversations like this are possible, and interactions with the audience, like with everyone who's watching, are so much, they feel to me even more personal, and the connection that you're able to have with people. I just love it. I just love it. I love having you all here. I love doing this. And I mean, one of the greatest things as well is that Terence, you were talking about all the editing time
Mm.
that you spend, which is great. It's great. Your content is so great. There's no editing with a live stream. You know, you're producing an hour of content a week or whatever it is, however much you're doing it, and it's just there. It's just there, and I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. StreamYard is easy peasy to use. Yeah, that's the other thing. It's so intuitive. It's like, I'm just going to add this in here again. Like, there's all of these different ways that you can kind of change the way it looks within your branding. You can add this stuff. Like, I've got this very silly thing as an example here to use. You can add things in like overlays. I'm an overlay. Wow. That's me as a vampire for a Halloween party one year. Yeah.
Nice.
But it's just, yeah, that's why I love StreamYard. That's why I use it all of the time. It's just so easy to use. But the main thing, I think, is learning how to interview people, learning how to have conversations with people. It feels like a live performance to me as well, like a weekly performance with all these beautiful people that I'm having connections with. And yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm doing a very good job of describing why I love StreamYard, but I mean, they also have a very good free version, which I know
Mm.
the Creator Classroom uses. I'm a tech idiot at times, and it was even easy for me to use. You're doing such an amazing job with your live streams, Creator Classroom, all about how to use Canva. And yeah, big shout out to this channel. Yes, it's just easy to use. It's easy to set up and send to YouTube, Facebook, whatever streaming platforms you're wanting to use. Yes, Canva, Creator Classroom, as you're now called, uses the free version, and it's great. There's so much you can do. You have a little duck up the top of the page that says this is powered by StreamYard, but like, who cares? It's great. It's
Yeah.
free. I pay for things so that I can add bits and pieces into it, but you don't have to.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I will second you that on, StreamYard. It is really great. I use for my live streams and stuff that I do with my courses and stuff. I use OBS, but before I
Mhm.
started using OBS, I was using StreamYard, and let me tell you how easy this was for me. It's crazy because it was literally, I get these ideas sometimes. It's like, oh, why don't I just do this? So one day I had this idea. It's like, let me just do a live stream today. And it was like an hour before I decided to do it. And I literally downloaded StreamYard an hour before, learned how to use it in about 10 minutes, and did the live stream like
Mm.
on that hour mark. That's how easy it is to use. Now, disclaimer, I am a tech junkie. I get through things pretty easy with tech. But even just in my experience, StreamYard is one of the easiest things to use. It's like when Claire says it's easy to set up, it's literally just a click of a few buttons. Like, it's no thought process. You got to wonder, like, oh my God, what am I doing with this thing? It's like, it's so easy, so intuitive to set up. So I love
Mm.
StreamYard as well.
And it's great for if you want to do it like by yourself, like the Creator Classroom does, but it's so wonderful for interviews and for
Mm,
chatting with other people. I use it just to, like, instead of Zoom or whatever, because it's
yeah,
just the connection is
yeah,
always, or like, it's almost always a wonderful connection.
yeah,
Like, as in technically, it's also
yeah.
wonderful connecting with you, Terence. But
Connection in both ways. I
how's
got you.
how is the experience for you as a guest on StreamYard?
Oh, that's a really good question. It's absolutely great. I mean, That part of it is a no-brainer too. I mean, you click the link, like Claire sent me the link to this particular live stream. You click the link, it asks you, "Hey, which camera do you wanna use?" Or, if you have a camera attached to your computer or laptop or even on your phone or whatever, it'll
Mm,
say, "Hey, we're gonna use this camera, we're gonna use this microphone." You click yes, bam, you're done. And it's really that simple. So I
yeah.
I think that's really cool. And then the part to where, like, we can get on before, and then when you start the live stream, you can put me, like, in a waiting room and then bring me on when you want to bring me on. So that I mean, that's really, really cool.
Mm, yeah. It's awesome. Live streaming is awesome.
Yeah.
And I think it, uh, as a creator, having a thing that forces you to be live, forces you to think on your feet, forces you to deal with problems as they arise. Like last week, I had like an alarm going off in
Uh,
the other room, and we were like 2 minutes into it, and I was like, either I can ignore that or I can deal with it. And it's like, you have to just go,
sure.
"Okay, we're having an issue, let's deal with it." But I think
Yeah.
that's such a wonderful, wonderful way to learn and to
Yeah.
combat, like, this desire that a lot of us have to be perfect.
Yes.
You know, in when I was recording videos and editing them, there were never any ums, and I think I've said probably about 50,000 times so far during
Yeah.
the past 20 minutes, and it's
Mhm.
like, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. It's really
it is.
helped me to get out of my head and just make things, and it's great. Highly recommend. Highly, highly recommend, to anyone who has not yet tried it out.
Yeah.
Yes, true. Perfection isn't possible. It's a myth. All
That's
right.
absolutely right.
Well, with that, oh, also Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. I've been blown away by StreamYard's incredible software and technology. It enables me to execute my message to the world. Yeah, I mean, if Gary V says that something's good, it's good.
Yeah. You can
A
trust
great
Gary.
person to follow blindly. All right. Let's move on to the third thing.
Third thing.
So the third
Ooh.
thing, what is it? What will it be? It's
What is the
this.
third thing? Yeah, this is the Rode VideoMic Pro. It is my go-to microphone. So for this live stream, I'm actually using a different mic, but recording my videos, you always need arguably now sound and what you sound like on your videos is the most important thing. If you're, the video versus the audio, it's, the jury is out about that. Everybody knows that the audio is the most important because you could have a sort of okay or even a crappy looking video, but as long as people can hear you and understand what you're saying and your audio is good, they will be more likely to listen to you, versus if you have just like this really great video and your audio is crappy. So,
Mhm.
you always need a good microphone, a good audio solution for your videos. And this has been a staple mic. Now, since this mic came out, there's been so many other mics to come on the market and kind of copy it and do their own version of it, and that's what's expected when something is popular. But this mic has been a staple literally for, creators, people who do video shoots, commercials even. This mic has been a staple in a lot of videographers, you know, toolkit for a very long period of time. I remember seeing this mic back in 20 I wanna say 2013, 2014. It was my first time seeing it, and it was if you looked online at that time, like, looked up microphones, this was the microphone to come up, and it's for a very good reason.
Mm.
It sounds great, it picks up audio really well, it blocks out, background noise pretty well. It's a good, well-rounded mic, and it's what I use to shoot my videos, so when you see my videos on YouTube, it'll be most of the time
Yeah,
I have it
right.
just out of the shot, like right here above my head, so you can kind of, be a distance away from it, and it still picks you up really well. So I absolutely love this microphone. It's my go-to. I've thought about changing mics sometime, a few times over the years as tech people when new stuff comes out, it looks like the new shiny object, and you're like, "Ooh, let me see that." But I've listened to some of the audio samples of it and then compared it to what this does, and this one is just it is the microphone. It still is the staple. So this is
Yeah.
one of the things I use to create a lot of my content. And like I said, right now I'm using a different mic than this one for this live stream, but you can even use this to connect to your computer to do stuff like this with live streams. And especially when you have something where you want
Mm.
a microphone out of the shot. So, and that's what a shotgun microphone is for. And this is what this is. This is basically a shotgun microphone. So it basically that's just a terminology. If you're not familiar with the terms, it just picks up audio coming from a specific direction and it picks it up really well. So the mic can be used in so many different situations, even singing and songwriting. If you're picking up a guitar, everything like that, it's so well rounded. This is my go-to audio mic for all my
Yeah.
YouTube videos.
Now, I have a question that is a question from someone who has no idea about microphones, apart from what you've taught me, and which is significant. But why, if you have that microphone that you have in front of you right now, which is like the master of all microphones, that's it's incredible.
Yeah.
So why ever use something different?
That's a really good question. So different microphones have different uses and different purposes. So a microphone like this one is built for close proximity. So it's built
Mhm.
to have your mouth kind of close to like this and be able to speak into. It's also good for recording, studio recording, like audio. A lot of vocalists and musicians use this mic to record their vocals and stuff in the studio. So, and then there are other mics that are used for other purposes. Say, like if you want to pick up room noises or an environment, like you want to go outside and record water or something like that. A microphone like that would have a different use or a different purpose. And I'm trying not to get into the technical terminology of it because it's kind of boring. It's just the thing to understand is that they have different uses and different purposes. So specifically, this mic, the Rode Video mic, it is a shotgun microphone which picks up audio well when you want a microphone that's kind of not in the shot that you can kind of put away from you a little bit. So versus this microphone, again, this is a microphone that you definitely want to have closer to your mouth because if you can hear, like
Mm.
as soon as I start to move away like that, like you start to hear the difference in the audio quality like really fast. As
Yeah.
with this, the difference between that and the shotgun microphone like this VideoMic Pro is that, you can kind of move around a little bit and it's still picking up, it's directional, it's still picking up
Okay.
the audio where you're coming from. So I mean those
Mm.
those are some of the main differences between the microphones. So they're just different microphones for different purposes is basically what it is.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, thanks for clearing that up. That
Sure.
makes a lot of sense because this does do this, doesn't
Yeah.
it? And this microphone that I have is like the cheap version of the one that you have.
Well, or I'd
I
like to
think.
say it's the baby brother to this one. Like
Right.
it's
Yes.
yeah, it's still a
I
good you
mean,
have
it's not
it's a
cheap,
great microphone. Yeah.
but yeah, thank you very much for the recommendations. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What's going on here? Oh, right. It's kind of like pens. There are Sharpies, ink pens, neon pens, highlighters. Different pens have different purposes. Same thing with
That's
microphones.
a really good analogy. That's
Yeah,
really good. That's really good.
you can steal that analogy. We know you love a good analogy,
I
Terence.
do. That's going into my bucket of
Yeah,
analogies I'm gonna use.
that's great. 21 Sausage, what's up? Thank you so much for being here. Awesome to have you here again. And yeah, so true, Chris. I would say sound is more important than video quality. People will stay if your message is worth it and the audio is decent. With poor quality video, but poor sound quality usually leads to click offs. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally true.
absolutely.
Yes, beautiful. It's like okay, we're being told that you can borrow it, but you can't have it forever. You have to return that
I'll
analogy.
have to return it. So I'll give credit where credit is due when I use it. So I
That's
learned this analogy from the creator classroom that says it's like ink
yeah,
pens.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into the fourth thing, which I think the Creator Classroom is going to be very excited about, it is, of course, Canva. So Canva is, again, I'm like such a I'm not great with tech stuff and
Mm,
design stuff. I'm like I enjoy it, but I wouldn't say that it's where my uh design isn't necessarily in my wheelhouse. But with Canva, it's like everything again is so intuitive. Hashtag Canvaholic. That's right. If you're a Canvaholic, if you're watching this and you're a Canvaholic, hashtag Canvaholic in the chat. We've got a yes, we've got a yeah, we've got a the best thing ever. Yeah, it's so good. It's like it's one of the easiest tools that exists. Again, there's a free version which is awesome. I made this thumbnail for this very chat that we're doing using Canva, and there's a few things that are really awesome about the pro version. If you are in a position you're able to pay for things where, for example, removing the background on these
mm,
images of me and Terence, that's a thing that you have to pay for. That being said, there are websites like remove.bg, I think it is, where you can achieve a similar thing. It's reduces the quality of the images a little bit, but I mean, yeah, for anyone who uses Canva, if we have anyone in the chat who uses Canva, what is your favorite feature? For me, I just like the ease of it. Everything is easy. For this background here, I just typed into the search green and this cool background came up that I am loving a lot. I'm a little bit obsessed with it at the moment. But it just makes everything easy.
mm.
Um okay, Creator Classroom, you can say three of your top features. Yeah, give it a try, Roxanne. It's so, so good. And
Yes.
yeah, the free version is excellent.
Mm.
Like, I used the free version for probably 6 months before I upgraded, and the only reason I upgraded was because I think there was like one design element that I couldn't use, and I never looked back. And it's also kind of like a Netflix subscription that you forget to cancel. But I mean, I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
use it every single week. I use it more than once a week. I use it for my thumbnails. I also use it for like things that flash up in videos, like when I'll go back through and edit this video and I'll use elements from Canva in my video editing. This little thing that's up the top here, the top, is that top left of the screen? Yes.
Mm.
That says grow on YouTube with Claire Sarah, because you can remove the background things as well and download like transparent background images and stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. So the top features from the Creator Classroom are the resize feature, awesome, download with transparency, and background remover. So actually the resize feature is very cool. I think I might just quickly show. It's going to be a wacky thing to look at, and you'll see how incredibly unorganized my brain is. But we'll get there. All right. So if I go into Canva, I'm going to bring this up so everyone can see, and I'm just going to quickly show how to use that resize feature because it's cool. Okay, share screen, Canva, beautiful. All right, so have you got that? Can you see that there?
Mhm.
Excellent. So if I was to go into this thumbnail that I made for this video, and up on the top left here is the resize button. And if I wanted to make like a post for Instagram out of it, which is something that I should have done, but I didn't. But maybe I'll do that later today. I can hit copy and resize. And then rather than having to recreate everything, I can just drag things around in here and make them fit properly. Right? And like, I'm not going to completely do it here, but I just want to show how incredibly easy that process is. Anyway, that's it pretty much. Just drag stuff around, but all of the elements are there rather than having to like go through and completely, oh, it didn't take us to the next page. I was busy doing some editing on that. How do we do that? Sorry, everyone. Interesting. This is what I mean. The tech stuff isn't necessarily always working for Auntie Claire, but yes, thank you. I've just been informed it's not showing. I'm going to stop that screen and I'm going to share the screen that it's actually happening on. Oh, funny. Ha 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 ha. All right. Now can you see that?
There you go.
There you go. Okay, good. Yeah, so you can just drag things around, resize them. I'm going to just grab everything and move it up here just to show you what I'm talking about. You have to make sure if you've got a pointing picture, you're not pointing that at a person and saying use this every week. I was very conscious of that when I was making this thumbnail. I was like, I don't want it to look like I'm saying I'm using Terence every week. But yes, like we don't want to give that message that we're using our friends. But like that? No.
Yeah, pointing directly at me. That's funny.
Yes. So the resize feature, it's amazing. I love it too. I love Canva. I love Canva forever. It has a very big piece of my heart. So
yeah, one
yes.
of the things I like about Canva, just to throw another one out there, is its autosave feature. That is like
Yes.
everything. Like you don't even know it's saved. It just saves everything. You never lose.
Yeah.
Like I've been using Canva for like 3 years now. It's not a single time that I've lost anything. Like you're working on something, your computer could shut off or something, and you come back to Canva and it saved your work exactly where you left off at. So that feature.
Yeah, there's also the incredible feature as well of folderizing projects, which I've never
Yes.
done. The creator classroom says, dang, I want to get in there and folderize your projects. Yes, it's quite nightmarish. You should see all of the files in my computer. I need to sort that out. But yes, Canva, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. So the next thing that's so good, the fifth thing.
Thing number 5.
Ooh, what will it be?
This is the Sigma 16mm lens for both Canon and Sony cameras. Wow. What can you say about this lens? So Sigma lenses came out and they were wanting to provide a less expensive solution for camera lenses for like the Sony and, the Sony and Canon cameras and some of the other brands as well. And when they came out, they did so with a bang. Like they came out in this lens, it became like the top pick of pretty much all of their lenses. This lens is amazing. The 16mm, you don't even have to know a lot about lenses. Basically, the 16, the smaller the number, the wider the shot. So as you moving higher in number, the shot gets, cropped in a little bit. So this wide angle lens was really great for when vlogging was really popular and people were walking around with the camera on like a little tripod and holding the camera up to themselves. It didn't have this big zoomed in thing where it's all in your face. You could hold it close to yourself, and your face would still be a sizable distance away from the camera, and you could see a lot of everything that was going on in the background, which made this the perfect solution for like YouTube videos. If you were in like a small space or something like that, and you needed a big wide lens, a wide angle for your camera, you could get this lens, and it came out and it was really, really inexpensive. by comparison to some of the Sony brand lenses and the Canon brand lenses, this thing was like 1/3 of the cost, and it was performing just as well, and in some cases even better. So it became
Mm.
a favorite for YouTubers, vloggers, people who just wanted a good lens to shoot video and get great video footage. This lens right now, I still use primarily. I've had it now for about almost 4 years, and I still use it. I record all of my online courses with it, all of my live streams. I use that lens on my Canon M50. Pretty much everything I do is with that lens. And here's the kicker part: I have a more expensive camera and I have a more expensive lens. I have the Sony A7 III. I'm sorry, A7C, and it's a more expensive camera, and the lens on it's a Sony lens, and it costs twice, almost three times the price of this Sigma lens. And I still end up picking up the Sigma lens more often because it's just such a great lens and it's really easy to use. It's lightweight, sticking on the camera. You don't have to worry about settings because it's what's called a prime lens. There's no zoom features and all that. It's You put it on there,
Mm.
you get what you get. It gives you a great image. And again, they make it for both Sony and Canon cameras. So if you have a camera and you're looking to upgrade your lens and level up your videos from like that, basically that kit lens that comes with your camera, which is,
Mhm.
can get the job done, but just that next level up and another couple levels up, actually, this lens is the one for you.
Yeah. Awesome. So you don't have to do anything. I've got a that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel deeply ashamed because my wonderful father is an incredible photographer and has like definitely tried to teach me about lenses and all these sorts of things before. But I still am like, wow, what does 16 to 50 mean? So that's the kit lens that I have on here. That's like, we does
Yes,
that.
because you're able to zoom that. So with the prime lens, like the Sigma lens we're talking about, it doesn't have the zoom feature. You can't turn the thing and zoom on it. It's a prime lens, so it's a basically a fixed focal length. So it's 16
Mm,
millimeters, and that's good. So it stays at that wide angle lens. But what's great about prime lenses and excuse me, fixed focus lens like that is it has a wider aperture. Most of the lenses like that has what's called a wider aperture. And again, not to get into the speech of lenses, but basically what that means is you can more easily get that nice blurry background, that bokeh that
mm.
everybody loves when you have a lens with a wider aperture. So this lens goes all the way down to 1.4, which is like a crazy wide open. You can get some blurred. I've done photo shoots with this lens just on my Canon M50, and it's crazy good. So I
Yeah,
mean,
right.
at its price point, it's just stupid good.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Like, the blurry background thing is so
Mm.
thrilling.
Yeah.
Are you using it right now?
I am not. I didn't. So I it's funny. I wanted to have it on hand just in case I wanted to show it to everybody, but so I'm using my different camera, but then I left the lens on the other side of the room, so I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't even have it here to show everybody."
Yeah.
But I'm not using it right now. I'm using a different lens, but even so you can probably see a little bit of blur in my background now.
Mm,
On this lens that I have, the aperture only goes down to 2.8. So, and that's the good part about it. And again, this is the more expensive lens. This is a Sony lens I'm using on this camera. So
yeah.
even with the lesser, expensive lens, you have that thing where you can get an even blurrier background. And the shot
Yeah.
would be a little bit wider than what you see here now. So for these, I kind of wanted a little bit like the lens I have on here now is a zoom lens, so I can kind of zoom in a little bit on myself if I want. So I
Mm.
wanted a little bit closer focal length on this one anyway.
We've just been told that you could get up, grab the lens, and come
I
back.
could. I was thinking about, I was like, "Should I do that?" I just didn't wanna jump out. Hey, this is what Claire mentioned about solving problems. So guess what? I'm gonna jump up and get it.
Let's do it. It's been
I'm gonna
asked for.
stop my camera though. Let me stop my cam, and then I'll jump up and
Okay,
get it.
cool. Well, I'm gonna make myself full screen. Hey everyone. I like on this, we're talking about camera lenses and we're talking about like stuff that is a little bit like I don't know what an aperture is, speaking Greek. Yeah. So like I think, you know, this lens is amazing and I want one. I want one myself. Um but I also want to point out how, like, still all you need is
Yes,
a phone.
that's
Like,
true.
all of this stuff that we're talking about, all of this stuff is awesome, and I wanted to have 'cause people will ask a lot about this kind of stuff, so I thought it would be really cool to have a, you know, a week where we chat about all of this. And but yeah, it's none of it's necessary. Like,
That's
you
true.
know,
That's absolutely true.
when you're just getting started, none of this stuff that we're talking about is a requirement. I think it's really easy to overthink, like, especially gear and like, oh, I got to make sure I've got like the best microphone and the best camera and the best lens and I'm doing the best editing. And it's like, actually, what matters so much more than any of that is just doing it. And then as you go and as you know, as you have been doing YouTube for a while, then you might go, oh, I want a microphone that's a bit nicer, or I want a lens that's a bit nice. I want a camera that's a bit nicer. But it's
Right.
like, it's a process. It's, I just wanted to point that out. All you actually need is an iPhone or, you know, whatever kind of phone you've got and an internet connection
Right.
and to make sure people can hear you, whether that's going into like not having heaps of background noise or whatever it is. You just need to be heard and seen, and that's great. Yeah, just show up, just be there, do the best you can, do the best you can do with the best you have. Yeah.
Right.
So these are, but these are good things to then get.
Absolutely. And here's the
Yeah.
lens, guys. This is the so I'll it's on my Canon M50 camera here, and I'll show you how. So this lens, again, you just pop on and pop off. Now, this it comes with this little hoodie thing on here. This is something that's not necessary. It screws off. So let me screw that off. This is the lens, if you can kind of see that. The Sigma 16. So, and it comes with this lens. This is, or this hood thing. This is basically just a little extra something to help block out any like flares and extra lights that are coming toward the lens. But again,
Okay.
it's a really simple thing, and the lens comes with this. So it just screw on like that, and you're done. This lens is, so, I mean, it has the focal length thing here. So if you can see that turning, let me see if I can get that to focus. Yeah. So, yeah, that turning thing there, so you can do a manual focus on it, but if you have a camera with the autofocus on it, you never have to touch that at all. And the Canon
Yeah.
M50 has it on there. So, again, it's just here, I can pop it right on the camera. Done. And set the camera up and you're done. And again, it gives that nice blurry background, that
Yeah.
bokeh that will blur out the background. So if you got some stuff that you don't want seen, especially if you have your lights and stuff on you, it will focus on what you want it to focus on. So if you have lights coming on yourself, it'll pick that up and it'll blur everything out in the background. It's really, really cool. I use it to
Mm,
shoot like on my when I'm doing rehearsals, gigs and stuff like that. I use this lens and this camera to shoot that stuff because again, it's just so good.
mm. My dad is saying it is necessary.
Yeah.
And that it stops flares. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I mean, it is, yes, it's good to have, but my lens doesn't have one of those and it's seems to be doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you probably won't need it, especially if you're just doing like a on stand or something camera setup where you have your lights already fixed to where they're
Mm.
coming from and stuff. So most of the time it's probably not going to be necessary. It's just something nice to have in case you're like when you're shooting outside and you have some sun coming in from some crazy
Yeah.
angle, something like that, and you're trying to shoot, it'll block those out for you. So
Mm.
it's pretty
Would
cool for that.
would there be stuff coming from this wall that could be avoided by, I mean, I don't know, I'm just thinking about things now.
Probably. So you have a pretty blank wall back there. So it means
Mm.
nothing. What do you mean? So something coming from the wall, like the light, is what you
Like a
mean?
flare-ish situation? Are we getting flaring
Oh
here?
no. So basically, so this thing, it's of course it's blocking this part of the stuff that's coming in the lens. Something coming straight toward there, it's going to get in there. So it's
Oh,
just
yeah,
those
yeah,
things
yeah.
like around, like if you have extra light that's coming toward here from like angles and stuff like that, it'll block that out. Rather, or versus if you don't have that, so you have that stuff coming from an angle that just kind of hits that lens, and then you have this
Mm.
hood that kind of just blocks it out. So it's just again,
Yeah,
it's just a
cool.
little bit of an extra protection. It's nothing too
Yeah.
serious. I just keep it on the camera just with safekeeping. So
Yeah, yeah, my dad has just said also, that it acts as a shock absorber if you accidentally drop the lens
Yeah,
or
that's true
camera.
too.
Heaven
Absolutely.
forbid. Heaven
Yeah.
forbid. Yeah. Awesome. Oh, this is fun. This is a fun chat.
Yeah, tech stuff is
So,
always
the sixth thing. So, the sixth thing is something that I was like, is this a thing? When I was thinking about what are the 3 things that I use the most every week. And this thing, let me know in the chat if you think this is a thing. It's a Video Ranking Academy, which is like this is a course. This is like a program that a few of the people who are watching today are part of as well. Let me know if you're VRA fam watching in house. But so when I say I use this every week and it helps me grow my channel, it's because what comes with Video Ranking Academy as well as the courses is the community, the online community, the Facebook group. It's like a place where yes, definitely a thing for sure. Yeah, great.
yes.
Yeah, it's an incredible place to connect with community. And also, there's Zoom meetups, there's hey, Absolute Guitar Avenue, VRA fam. Awesome. So nice to have you here. Yeah, it's an incredible place to connect with people. It does have a significant it's a significant investment. I will say that. Like it's but I would say also that you get what you pay for. And I have gotten so much value out of being part of this community and of the lessons of the Zoom meetups, of like the monthly check-ins, out of all of that stuff. I get so much value out of being part of this group, and just having people that when you have a problem or you have something that you're experiencing that you're able to check in with. And I will also say, in the same way that you don't necessarily need a lens, you don't necessarily need to be part of a course or a program or whatever. But my third thing is really community. I think you need to have community, and you need to have people that you can connect with in the way that I've connected with you, Terence, and the
Mm.
people watching. And if that's something that you want to be part of, there's stuff like VRA. There's also stuff like Facebook groups. I have a Facebook group. You can find it in the description of this video and on my homepage and stuff. These weekly conversations where people can kind of get together and meet up, being able to commiserate with someone else that is also serious about being on YouTube. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. It's one of the things that helps me grow the most is watching other people's videos as well and learning from them, not just like having it all be about like, come and watch my live stream. It's like building community, learning from other people, growing together. That's what this whole thing's about, like growing on YouTube together. And yeah, that's my thing. VRA has just been one of the ways in which I have found community on YouTube, and it's a wonderful way. But VRA is part of Think Media, and they also have a whole bunch of free courses and programs, and they have like a weekly podcast, which is incredible. It's been so inspiring for me and encouraging, and just surrounding yourself with people who are on the journey, people who are further along in the journey to inspire you and motivate you that it is possible. Like whatever it is you're trying to achieve on YouTube, it is possible. And yeah, I just bloody love it.
Yeah,
What
I
say about that?
second VRA too, and that's that's how that's how you and I met, Claire, through a
Mm,
VRA event. So, I mean, that says a lot right there. Like we always talk about one of my things is it's just amazing that we're on different parts of the planet. We're so far away from each other. Like it's literally what do we say? It's like a 13, 14-hour time difference between where you
yeah,
are and
yeah.
where I am. So
What
it's like
time is it where you are right now?
so it's about 6:25 right now where I am. 6:25
PM.
PM.
Yeah.
PM. Yeah,
I'm
so
at
that's what I'm saying. So that's
8:55 AM.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you see how crazy that is. And it's, it allows people to, the technology now allows people to connect like that. But different online resources like VRA, like the things that Think Media have, facilitate that. And, they bring people
Mm,
together that, we probably never would have met otherwise. And it's been
mm,
so great, coming on your channel and us chatting about these things and getting to know each other and helping other people out. It's so great. So yeah, VRA is not to mention even outside of the community. Think Media has kind of become the main player in teaching people how to do YouTube.
yeah.
So while we're, gaining community with each other, we're still learning as well. We're learning how to, make videos, everything from how to make videos, what equipment you need to use, everything from step one all the way through. So yeah, VRA
Mm,
is really great.
yeah. It's awesome. I love it when Think does the week-long free 1K challenge because it's
Yeah.
just community.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just providing, and that's something that I want this channel to be as well. Like, I mean, I'm in a different pond, but a place where people can connect, and I hope that people are going and checking, becoming curious about each other's channels and going and checking out, like, oh, what are they doing? How are they,
Mhm.
how are they creating shorts, or like what kind of
Mhm.
editing are they doing? Because there's just so much that you can learn from, obviously from doing yourself, but also from watching what other people are doing, watching how they're
Yes,
connecting with their community. And yeah, it's great. I love it. And you need to go to your rehearsal,
I do. Yeah, I
practice
have a
rehearsal.
few
What do you
minutes.
call it?
Yeah, rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm so bloody grateful as always to have you join, and to have everyone who's in the live chat. I love it. This is like, one of one of my favorite parts of my weeks is chatting with you all in here. And next week I am going to be doing a solo stream by myself. That's what that means. Um,
Solo stream.
I'm going to do a solo stream. I'm going to be talking about live streaming. So if that's something that you are interested in getting started with or whatever, then come along, check it out. It's going to be the same time, same place next week. And yes, I know, solo. It's a very intimidating
Yes.
proposition for me.
Ooh,
Um,
solo.
I've only ever done one solo live stream before, and I think it's really important to challenge ourselves and do things
Mm.
that are uncomfortable. So if you want to come and watch me feeling a little bit uncomfortable next week, then but it's going to be great, and I'm going to be chatting about how to use the platform. It'll be specifically about StreamYard, just because that's what I'm the most familiar with. Yeah, so it'll be lovely to have some of you there. And thank you for being here today. And I hope you all have a wonderful morning or day or evening or whatever it is that you're about to enter into.
Yeah.
And oh
Thanks,
my
everyone.
goodness, Dre's here. My friend Dre's here. Thanks so much for being here. All right.
Thanks, Dre.
Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful experience with your lives. Goodbye.